Welcome to another episode of Remote Accountants. I'm your host, Vincent, and I'm excited to bring you another episode here today. Have two things planned for you. I typically have my videos in two parts. So I wanted to let you guys know about more on goals for the first part. I talked about having small goals so that way you can achieve those goals during one of my prior videos. And if you haven't seen that already, please look for that video and look at that one. It's labeled goal setting, and so you can see more about how to set goals. But today's video is about talking about SMART goals, which is something that I've learned in the not too distant past about how to better set goals. And so we'll talk about that in today's video, and we'll also talk about job opportunities as I always do. So that's going to be exciting for everybody. I'll tell you guys about the time, about what's available, and so we'll start on that as well. And so yeah, let's get started here, guys. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the like button, leave comments for me as well. On this video, on this channel, I let people know, let all the members know that, hey, this is when the job opportunities are available for you guys. So that way you know when I'll be posting on the Facebook group. The Facebook group, by the way, the link will be down below, and so you can find that. And so you can join that group if you're not already a part of that group. If you are a part of it, great. But I'll let you know on this channel about when I'll be posting about job opportunities first, and I'll also let you know about tips and things like that. I'm an accountant myself. I've been an accountant for several decades, and so I try to offer the best advice I possibly can. And I recognize through seeing some videos, by the way, of that I've posted, and what people have commented on, what people have liked, that I see, a good need for, for people to understand more about Excel and understand more about certain softwares. And so I'll be able to talk about that too as well through my experience. But today's video, I want to talk about goals, SMART goals, and why that's important. So when you set goals, if they're just kind of broad and they're not measurable, or they're not very specific, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good, because typically speaking, goals that are set like that aren't really achieved. Think about like New Year's resolutions, right? Everybody has a goal and a New Year's resolution, like lose weight, or maybe it's to buy a house, or maybe if you're an accountant, to get a job or get a better job. And so a lot of people set goals like, December 30th, 31st, and then, within the first few weeks of the new year, nothing happens. And the New Year's resolutions kind of get tossed by the wayside, especially by February and March. And so there's a reason why those don't work as well, is because, they're not specific enough. So there's a concept of SMART goals that's out there, and you can see about it. You can see the people behind it. You can see more about SMART goals. But in this video, I'll tell you a little bit about it already. And basically, what SMART stands for is specific. That's the S. Measurable, M. A is attainable, and the R is relevant, and the T is something that's time bound. So SMART. So let's go through each one of those items. SMART, the S for specific, is something that, if you were to buy a house, for instance, instead of saying, well, I just want to buy a house for the next year, right? Instead of saying that, you should tell yourself, okay, I want a house that's in this area, throwing it out there for a city that's not too far from me, like Joshua Tree. I want a house that's in Joshua Tree. I want it for $200,000. And I want it to be 2 floors and have this and this, like being very specific about it. And so the more specific it is, the more that you can visualize it, the more that you can sense it, the more that it's real. And I just threw the house out there example, for our purposes, for accounting purposes. Maybe it's to get a new job, right? Rather than having a general goal, like a New Year's resolution, to say, I just want to get a new job next year, be more specific about it. I want to get a senior accountant job that pays such and such dollars, and I work such and such amount of hours per week, and I want to do this in this particular industry. Maybe it's the entertainment industry, just throwing that out there. Being very specific about that. Now, measurable is taking steps where you can achieve that goal. Like saying that I want to. Let's go back to that accounting example. A senior accountant. I want to be able to make progress to achieving this goal. Week by week, by throwing up my resume, doing a certain number of resume submissions per week, so you can measure your progress along the way in achieving that goal. Or if you get feedback, right, in submitting your resume, maybe you're getting replies back and saying, okay, we'd like to interview you, or maybe they're giving you advice about what you could do, more skills you might need. But basically, it's measurable steps, so that way you can see, okay, you're submitting, you're getting feedback, you're taking steps in order to achieve that goal, and so that way that measurability component is there. Attainable is a very key piece of the goal setting. So attainable basically means you don't set something that's so broad and out there that you can't achieve it. Like, for instance, let's go back to the accounting example, right? Say that I was going for a senior accountant position, but then I kind of threw it out there saying, I really like to be the CFO. And that was my goal at the very beginning, and kind of like a New Year's resolution kind of deal again. Just kind of making it out there. It's kind of broad. Well, in a SMART goal setting, that attainability part of it is key, because I have to understand my skills. I have to understand, okay, I have the skills of a senior accountant. I have my degree, I have my qualifications, I have experience, and a lot of it's involved in a senior accountant experience. So I fit the mold of that senior accountant very well, so that way it's attainable, and when I go for that goal, I can achieve it. If I try to go for something like a CFO without trying to increase my level of maybe it's certifications, maybe it's an additional degree, maybe it's more experience, I have to understand that it's not going to be very attainable if I just, as a senior accountant, just kind of throw it out there, I want to be a CFO. There's nothing wrong with setting your ambitions high. I'm not trying to make anyone shy away from achieving the higher levels. That is definitely what you should do, is to move up the line. But you also have to set goals for yourself that are attainable. So, because if it's too way out there, then the goal is just going to fall by the wayside, and you're going to feel like, oh, I just can't achieve this. It's too far out there. Like, you have to take smaller steps to reach the larger steps. Sometimes you could sort of jump frog, if that's the correct terminology behind that, the steps where you can achieve higher levels a little bit sooner. That's fine, but if it's too far away over there, the goal is just going to be kind of ignored and eventually forgotten. So that's where we want that attainability factor there. That relevancy factor, something that is relevant to your position, relevant to what you want. If you have a goal out there that isn't really something that is in your heart, isn't really relevant to what you're doing, then it's just going to kind of again, that goal is just going to fade away. So that's a key component, that relevancy factor of your goal setting, making sure that it's in alignment with who you are, alignment with your values, alignment with your integrity, alignment with your experience, and in who you want to become, because that's going to be a key contributing factor for you going out and achieving that goal. Remember, it's that measurability component of it, where you're doing it step by step. And so that relevancy is going to be a huge deal in getting the motivation to take the next step. Time bound is another important factor, because if you just have a goal out there that's just kind of broad and there's no timing to it, then it's just going to drag on forever. Like going back to that house example again, right? If I just say, oh, I want to get a house and leave it at that, then you know what? Years are going to go by, and perhaps even decades, and that's just still going to be a goal. Like, oh, I'd like to own a house someday. When you say that, no, I'm going to get a house within 6 months, and this is what's going to happen, then it's time bound. If you want that senior accountant position, say within 3 months, I'm going to get that senior accountant position, that's going to motivate you more to get that done in that time frame and understand, okay, this is when I want this done. So that way there's a deadline to it, and it's not to make you pick deadlines that are too soon, like obviously if you had it just within a few weeks, then that attainability factor kind of comes into play because you can't do something, getting a senior accountant position maybe within a week or 2 weeks. Maybe that's too soon. But you can understand, okay, by setting it far enough, still having it time bound, but giving yourself the necessary wiggle room where you can achieve that goal, then it enables you to be able to take the necessary steps within that time frame to achieving what you desire, what you want. So anyway, that's what it is again. SMART, SMART goals. So do go out there, do make it your goal setting technique, and just remember that it's going to help you along the way in your accounting career, in your remote, even remote finance career, to achieving the next level. So the jobs. Here's another job posting here on the group, job opportunities. I'll let everybody know on this channel first, so please subscribe and hit the like button too. So the next job postings I will have available for everybody on the Facebook group will be today at 5 o'clock. I will do a posting. Today's October 26th here. I'm based here in California. And so right now it's about 10 a.m. I'll post this video shortly after this. And so there'll be at least, a good 6 hours, 7 hours before I do the job posting on the Facebook group. But in any case, I will post some job opportunities. So there's some good opportunities out there. Some that I recall seeing in the feed, a general accountant role that was on there. So that's an opportunity for everybody. There's another one that was a remote accountant that looked like it was specific to financial statements. So I'll be posting that on the group as well. I'll be doing some other bonus postings as well for various people that are looking for different positions as well. So you'll see that on the group. I didn't create a list today of things I'll be posting on there, but you'll see it on there at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time here October 26th that I'll be posting that. So look out for that, guys, and just apply once you see that those job postings, apply to that. Disclaimer about all these jobs, by the way, these are not my own, as I always say in all these videos. These are people that come to me with job opportunities. So they're available for you to be able to take advantage of, but do your own research, send emails, send personal messages, make sure it's a good fit for you. So these will be on the group for you guys to be able to look at, and I'll post some questions on there too from different members that had some questions about things, or some people sometimes have educational materials that help you guys out. So I'll post that for you guys too as well on that group. So you look out for that today again at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time here October 26th, and hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll look forward to the next one. Take care.